Hello and welcome. This is NerdDragon 88 here. I'm back, and I'm here with my parents. There's Father of Dragons.
Greetings!
And Mother of Dragons.
Hi.
And we are playing Civilization 4 Beyond the Sword. This is a continuation of a series that we're hoping on doing, taking it all the way to the end of our plan. Yeah.
The year is 3200 BC, and we are in the process of discovering our respective continents and setting up our capital cities for future success.
Yep. Reminds me I should...
Scoping out
good.
future city locations and noticing that Mother and Father are on the same continent. Nerd is on a different one.
Yep. And there's a worker. Oh no, you're building a worker. Okay. And we do have to worry about barbarians.
Yes, there are barbarians in this game, including animals.
But right now, they're just lions and tigers and bears and panthers and wolves.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any
No,
tigers.
no tigers. Sorry, I lied about that.
They have panthers instead.
Oh my.
Alright, I'm gonna pass the turn. Whee.
Thank you.
Explorers. Okay. Yeah, I hope the sound quality on this episode should be better than the previous episode. We are now also using TeamSpeak. Which means we don't have to wait for it to go through the internet. Blood for the win! Okay. So, yeah. I am playing the Americans because Roosevelt.
I am the lovely Hatshepsut of the Egyptians.
I am Peter of Russia.
The great.
I'm not great yet, but I will be.
Very great.
You have discovered archery.
Thank you.
I think I should jump on the monotheism? Or maybe meditation?
I'd rather you. Well, okay.
Monotheism.
As long as you jump off.
Yeah, I think I already have religion. Yes?
You have discovered archery.
Yes.
Yes.
You have Hinduism.
I must ensure that we each get a religion. Because it gives so many awesome bonuses. So many.
Well, I'm researching animal husbandry because there are cows right next to my capital city. And my workers are bored.
I see lions. Oh, and wolves. I like my scouts flanked.
Run away!
Yeah, that's what I would do.
They ended their turn on a hill.
I'm sure you can survive one attack.
I can probably survive both. One is lions, the other is wolves. And I'm on a hill. Oh, and lions have to cross a river. Which puts them at a disadvantage. Gives me an extra bonus.
That's true.
Oh, lions are attacking. Ha! Uh-oh. The wolves went onto the hill.
I found some lions too.
Should I run away?
I found cows and bananas.
Perhaps they
And
wish
fish.
to play with me.
They probably do. What's kind of funny is, or not funny, but fun, about Civ games in general, is that if you go back to an earlier save and then go and replay it, everything will come out different.
I think they randomize certain elements, retain the map, and maybe the placement of the resources.
Yep. That is. They keep the map as it is, as well as the initial or the actual civilization units, and what their current progresses are. Everything else gets randomized.
I wonder if they redistribute where the villages are in randomizing.
No.
Okay.
At least from one save to the next. What you
My
get?
lions definitely wanted to play, but then they got tired and they lay down. So they're not playing anymore.
I have found the end of a peninsula and I'm going to be heading west again. My eastern seaboard is exposed.
And your western seaboard is also exposed.
But it's kind of my western seaboard. It's more Peter's western seaboard, I think.
It's both of your western seaboards. Because you're both on the same continent.
Generally, when I'm playing as a team and we're on the same continent, I kind of get a mental dividing line of where I will and will not develop so as to make sure that my co-continentalist has enough space. I'm kind of considerate that way. Meditation?
Are very useful for that.
I'm going to go for meditation.
Okay, so Buddhism is already founded.
Oh, okay.
But we can get the monasteries, which would be good.
Monasteries. Oh, you guys are almost done with monotheism. I don't want to jump in and end up with Judaism myself.
No.
What's the next one that leads to? And the answer is none of these. Okie dokie.
If we're beelining it for religions...
Bronze working would be good too.
Yeah, I think I'm going to grab bronze working. I'll be secular for a while.
Okay, so priesthood leads directly to code of laws, which requires writing, which we already have. So you could get Confucianism as the next religion.
I could get what?
Confucianism.
Unless, well, no.
Bronze
Your
working will help in
speaker
that process,
cut out part of the word. I wonder if there's a built-in something or other that made it not happen.
So what I was saying is, if religion is our top priority, then the next available religion to us would be potentially Confucianism.
Confucianism. Okay. Last time you said that, I only heard ism.
That's kind of weird. And
Yeah.
could be anything just before that, including some not very appropriate things.
All right, back to the game.
Yes. Well, we were talking about the game before that. So.
Yeah, back to the game. I'm doing bronze working. So there. And my guys are continuing to explore this peninsula and are bored because there are no lions, tigers, or bears here.
Well, I found more lions.
Okay, so I'm dropping down my science so I can make a bit of money, while also making it be so you're closer to monotheism.
Are you going to drop out of monotheism next turn, NerdDragon?
That's my plan.
Okay.
That's why I'm turning down my science.
I thought you were just going to jump to another tech.
Well, it would then still be 2 turns for Dad to get.
Ah.
All right.
Okay. My turns are kind of short at the moment because of the whole thing there. Oh, right, and I need to pull out of monotheism.
Yes, please.
Which means I need to switch to bronze working.
Thank you.
And monotheism is still 1 turn for you. And then I can turn my science back. Organized religion! Imagine that.
Organized religion is a fine thing.
I'll go ahead and switch now. Being Hatshepsut and thus being spiritual, I don't have anarchy with revolutions.
Yeah, I'm switching to.
You have discovered monotheism.
The only limitation that Hatshepsut has the forced time duration between 2 different switches. They force you to wait like 10 turns or something like that.
Well, the wait between switches is why I switched now rather than later.
Yep.
My guys are about to find a village.
Actually, I know what I can do with these guys. Ha! I'm gonna send them up to go get that village.
Oh.
Musco. What is that dark dot on the map?
I finally have a worker. I am going to pasture some cows.
You're welcome. We each have somewhat different play styles and they work well in different things. As a pattern, I do very well in the early game, and then I get left behind by the exceedingly ambitious father. He's pretty wonderful about just kicking ass in the later game.
Yep.
Okay, my workers are done with that piece of road. They can come back and do these cows. Yeah, got the tech for it. I build roads a lot in early game, and I build workers first, unlike other folks.
I build settlers first.
Well, at this point, I'm thinking that the granary is really going to help me. And the next thing I'll be building is archers. I'll build 2 sets of archers before I build any settlers. Because I don't want my settlers to be eaten by lions.
Yep.
I've learned that by experience. Poor guys. Poor little pixels.
Let's see, there's supposed to be copper out here somewhere. I'm looking forward to the bronze working. I need bronze working.
Ah! Hello, Peter. I mean, Peter Scouts.
Oh dear. There are wolves. No forest nearby.
Hello, lions.
Hello, elephants and gems.
This way.
And corn. Oh, I'm wrong. It's sugar. These squares are sugar.
I got corn. It's a bit corny. But I got corn. It's corny corn.
I see lots of good stuff, but it will be many, many turns before I'm able to take advantage.
Yep.
Ah, he's ditching me with the lions.
Hey, don't have to run fast, just faster than you.
I'm pretty certain that you can both outpace those lions. Because the lions can only move one tile a turn. So if you were to example, just head west from there.
I am going to run east through the sugar. Archer!
Alright, I have my first pasture, now it's on to the second.
I still don't have workers. Okay. I'm trying to get took a bit. Okay. And I'm now building workboats, which will help me.
No slavery for me. Blah.
Always best. It can be helpful in early game, but
Nah, not my
just
style.
the way that they label it leaves bad taste in mouth.
I think I'm going to go for literature because it leads to music.
I'm going to get iron working because of iron.
Yep.
You have discovered bronze working.
And there's copper near Thebes.
And I now have a new batch of settlers.
I have a road to my copper already because I had workers already.
Okay. I'm going to have to go with the city there. I'm trying to decide whether I should go for my coastal cities or if I should try to get my chain going to the copper that is now revealed. Because it's going to take 2 cities to get copper. Okay. I'm going to have to do what I often do. Dad?
Yes?
I need advice.
Well, you're in the right place.
So, I got free settlers from a village. And I have the option of either setting up a bunch of coastal, or setting him out to set up coastal cities first, which can get me some food and get me all that money from the coast. Or I can set it up as the first step of 2 steps to get copper.
Okay.
Did
Well, because we're up against barbarians, access to metals is very important. And that would also be the case if you had an opponent on your continent.
Did you find the settlers near the gold that your dudes are standing on? Because I'm not seeing your settlers.
Okay, so if you go to Dragon's Hold and go just north of there, there's a set of scouts with settlers next to the pigs and corn.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm curious as to why you want to do it in 2 steps, though.
Yeah,
Because I don't have map revealed there, and I want to have more cities per area. Without stepping on each other's toes.
you don't have map of there, but you know how big the squares are, and you can kind of look to the sides to figure out. So 5 squares up is on a horizontal with the deer near the coast. Another 5 squares up is where the copper is. So I would plant the city.
Oh, there's that copper way up there.
Yeah, I would plant the city at the North Copper, just north of the hilltop on the river.
And an archer.
But I'd also build an archer to go with them, yes. I'm going to put a tag on the spot I have in mind.
The problem I have with that is that there's so much unusable terrain.
Okay. In that case, you can decide to put a city there later. I didn't see what other copper you were talking about.
It's west of my city and where the settlers currently are.
Oh my goodness! You have copper and gold and corn in that general vicinity?
Yeah.
And that kind of lake or peninsula thing? You have a city tag down here that you probably put in before you
discovered the copper.
Discovered the copper. I would put the city instead right here. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't get the corn, but it gets the copper and both the golds and access to water.
It's true.
And don't forget to keep your scouts with your settlers.
That,
It's a dangerous world out there.
That placement also means that you are a sufficient distance from Dragon's Hold. Though Dragon's Hold edge of expansion is even a square wider than you have to worry about. Which is to say that if you built a city that was 1 square closer to Dragon's Hold, it would still be okay. But the suggested placement I have is in order to give you access to the water resources.
Yeah. The water is nice because of the money. Gold is also nice for money.
Actually, the square right below the copper is also fine. Though either way, you're kind of stuck with that sand.
With that 1 square desert? Yeah.
Yeah.
At least if I want to get the water tiles.
I would go with the square just south of the copper. Especially given where you were thinking of planting the city next to the corn.
Yeah, if I plant it there, I'll have to move the spot where I was planning putting the city by the corn.
I would put the city by the corn 1 square further east, because that way you've got the square of grassland available to you, and you're still
Whoops.
Not. Yeah, you're not really impinging on the footprint of Dragon's Hold.
Really? I would
The
have
workable area.
gone to the north and east. Maybe the square north of the corn to grab the pigs as well.
Oh, city and here. Yeah. Square north of the corn works, but that gives you 2 squares of desert.
But pigs.
But pigs.
Pigs, which gives you
Plus
an
1
extra
health,
3
plus 3 food.
Yeah,
so
plus 3 food.
plus 3 food probably
More than makes up for the desert.
makes up for the desert, yeah. Well, I don't know about more than.
I do.
Along with the other plus 2 food
Okay.
for the farm.
Would you like me to take my tag off by the gold? I think I'll do that. Okay.
So it'll mean that my cities aren't tesseracted together? Or not tesseracted?
Tessellated?
Tessellated, thank you.
There is no actual way to completely efficiently tessellate cities. The most efficient way, you still have a square of 4 unworked squares in between the corners of the cities. Your dad and I worked that one out pretty carefully.
I thought it was 3, but yeah.
Nope.
So I guess I'll move them next turn.
Okay, I heard a thumping noise.
That was my space bar. I heard loud
Space pod.
keyboard.
Really?
Space bar,
Ah.
not pod.
Okay, that's archer number 1. Here comes archer number 2. This one I'm just going to garrison in the city. My scouts will continue working their way north.
That's right. Scouts move at the same speed as settlers. Which also means I should move this southern spot. Okay, so here-ish is going to get both of those, so I don't need to worry about those.
Hooray! They are now selling crabs in Moscow. Well, I'm exploring the frozen north and the steamy south.
Actually, that prevent another thing from happening there. So instead,
Working on something over there?
planning some cities along my eastern edge.
I think you need to plan a worker to build a road to your copper and gold.
Yep.
And an archer to accompany them.
I'm also doing work boats, though. Alright. Actually, no, it'd be better. I think it'll be better if I just do all 3 work boats and then build a couple workers with archers. Archers first. Hopefully that'll work. Hopefully. Alright.